artist friends, today you're going to need some white paper, some markers, Sharpie, and a pencil. Maybe a notepad to keep a place to write down your ideas. Let's have fun. We're going to be doing a creative design project where we're using the letters of our name and maybe even a saying that you may have come up with. The saying that I came up with is Nora Franzese believes kindness is the key to happiness. I do believe that. Alright, so what we're going to do is take those words and we're going to draw them on our paper, but they're going to turn into elements of design, like shapes, rather than words. The words will still be there. Alright, so we're going to take our paper and I'm going to divide it into sections. Now, since I have in my design, or my phrase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, I'm going to draw 4 lines so that I'll have 5 rows of space. So if I just draw a gentle wave, you can do straight lines, it's up to you. But I think it's more interesting to have letters bend and stretch in a wave than a straight line. Okay, now that I have that, my first line is going to be my name. So, I want to go from the new line to the edge of the paper with the letters. So I should draw with pencil. That way if I make a mistake, I can erase it and then I'll trace it with a Sharpie. So I start with my N and I want to fill up the whole space. So N. Oh, I'm using capital letters because they're easier to stretch. And you'll also see that as you're creating your letter, you're creating shapes. Inside the O, inside the R, inside the N even. Okay. Now my last name has a lot of letters, so I need to keep them close together. I'll put a little bit of a space. Maybe even put a design in the center. That makes it more interesting. So F, all the way to the top. R, see how it's touched? Because now this is a shape. If your letters touch, you create more shapes. A, N. So Z, E, S, E has to fit here. So I have to stretch them out. Z, E, S. And then E. Okay, Nora Franzese, and I just put a spacer in between. Now my next line is believes. So B, stretch it out as much as you can. E, it's only one word, so they're going to be a little bit bigger than your name. If you have a lot of letters in your name, you can do 2 lines. My younger friends, if you're giving this a try, just do your name. I'll show you how you could do that later in this video as well. V. Now I have to fit E and S, so they're going to get thinner than the beginning of the word. It's okay. I could always erase and adjust. So Nora Franzese believes kindness. So K, I, N, D, N, E, S, oops, see, this is why we use a pencil. Stay in your lane. S, S. Double check your spelling. There's nothing worse than finishing a project and realize you spelt something wrong. I did a display once where I wrote the word gallery across the entire hallway of our school, and I spelled gallery wrong. Not very good. So the next line is the key. So I, S. I'm going to put a little spacer. I went over it again. Is the, so T, and it's bending into that space. E. little spacer. You can do a heart, you can do everything, anything you like. And I'm writing key, so K-E-Y, has to fit in the space. If it doesn't fit, you can carry over to the next line. I'll show you how to do that with your name. That's fun to do. Key. Now to success, T-O, success. To happiness, not success. Kindness is the key to success, but it is also happiness. So my design is to happiness. To, little spacer, and then happiness. H, check your spelling. A, P, P, I. Now I gotta squeeze in ness. N, E, S, stretch it out. S, all the way to the bottom, Mrs. Franzese. What are you doing? So, there I have it. Nora Franzese believes kindness is the key to happiness. Now to trace with a Sharpie. Once we're done erasing all of our pencil lines that we no longer need, get yourself some markers. If you don't have markers, you can use crayons, and you could also use watercolor if you do have those. I like to mix my supplies. So, I take my markers and I put my hand at the bottom so that I can see my full palette. I can see all my colors. So now, your job is going to be to color inside each of these spaces. Do want to put something underneath so I don't get it on the table, as you should, so you don't color your table at home. Using your markers or crayons, it doesn't matter. I prefer the markers, and I just fill in one space at a time. If I'd like to use orange a few times, then keep going. Go around your design and do all of your oranges. Orange just happened to be the first color I grabbed. So I'm going to spread it out so it makes an interesting design. You do not have to do a pattern. If you choose patterns because you love patterns, well, I love patterns, but you don't have to do this in a pattern. And let's see, this whole space, because it doesn't close, is actually going to have to be one color because it's an open space. When you take a line and you touch another line, that's when it creates a shape. So that became a very large shape. And let's skip, maybe go down here to the B, the bottom of the B, the belly of the B, mama baby. Fill that in. You can do that throughout the whole project, and then you can switch your colors. Did you notice that I traced inside the shape? I call that a fence, and then I fill inside the yard. So I trace the fence and I fill in the yard to fill in one color. Almost done. So what I want to do now, I have these empty spaces, but I didn't want to put the same color next to it. So I look at my design and I figure out what could work there. I think maybe yellow could work here. So I look here, I'm thinking maybe, well, the pink is far enough away. The pink could work there, but that's very close to that. I wonder if there's another color choice. How about the color red? For that one. In this space, I think the yellow could work.
And this space, too much pink because they're touching. I don't want to have that close together. How about orange? And I think the key to making your design work is don't have too many dark colors, because you want to be able to read the letters even though we're changing the letters into the element of shape. Say these have all become shape. So I'll finish up and let's see what the final outcome looks like. For my young artist friends who are just learning words and how to write your name, let's just make this a simple design. I'm going to put 4 lines. 2, 3, one more, 4. In these spaces, I'm going to use my first name and my last name. This is a good way to practice writing your name. But we are not going to worry so much about what the letters say, but about the space. Just like in the design, Nora Franzese believes kindness is the key to happiness. We're just going to use my words, my name. You use your name. Don't use my name, that would be silly. Okay, so again, I stretch out my letters. So N, fill it up from top to bottom. O, nice and big, fill in that space. R, see when I touch, this becomes a shape and that becomes a shape, and then that's another shape. R, A. I touch the bottom of the R to make that a shape. Now, my last name starts with an F, so I can put the divider, and I'm going to put F. Now, my next letter of my name, I'm just going to go to the next line. And here we go. Here's my R. Use pencil so you can erase. We trace with Sharpie after. F, R. A, that's my name. N. Z. E. S, and then an E. Make the E touch the S this time. And I'm going to go right off the edge. So now I have rectangles. So I'm going to start over. I'm going to put a divider. It's a fun design. And then the N again. I'm just repeating my name. If you have a hard time with your last name, if you have a lot of letters and you just want to use your first name, that's fine. Give it a go. Go for it. Just use your first name. I'm going to see if I can get an FR in this time. F, and then the R. Yes, it fit nicely. R, and I keep going. A, N, touching your letters. Z, E, S, whoop, there we go, that's cool, made a shape. Z, E, S, E. Sometimes I forget how to spell my last name. My maiden name had 4 letters, T, A, P, P, that was easy. All right, I put a space and now I can put the N for Nora. And my last line is an O, R, A, and guess what? I just keep doing it again. F, R, A. I am out of room, so guess what? I am done. I'm going to trace with Sharpie, color with marker or crayon, and remember when you are coloring in a shape that you do the fence first and you fill it in as if it were a yard.
Here's a more advanced design using crayons and blending. Well, no matter what you come up with, remember to have fun.